friends! This is Miss Kassie with another story time. I'm sure you're really feeling stuck at home, aren't you? This story time, we're going to go on an adventure. We're actually going to go on 2 adventures. Our first adventure is Hey Granddude by Paul McCartney. I'm sure your parents know Paul McCartney from the Beatles. So put on your adventuring caps and let's go! Hey Granddude by Paul McCartney. Illustrated by Catherine Durst. Lucy and Tom and Em and Bob were spending a weekend with their granddad. Today was one of those days when nothing felt quite right. It was gray and drizzly, and everybody was grumpy and too bored to be bothered. "Cheer up, chillers," said Granddude, and he pulled out a pile of postcards from the back pocket of his trousers. "Look at these!" Em picked out a postcard of a sandy beach and sparkling blue waters. "I wish we could go there, Granddude," she said. "Well, let's see what we can do." Granddude reached into his coat pocket and took out a shiny compass. He gave the compass a rub and waved it over the postcard. The needle started to spin round and round. "See the compass needle spin, let the magic fun begin." Then, in a flash of magic, ding, bang, sizzle, everything changed. The children were standing on a golden beach with little waves tickling their toes. The water felt beautifully cool. "We're on the beach from the postcard." Bob laughed as he splashed in the sea. But the magic compass hadn't finished yet. Huge flying fish leapt from the sea. "Hey, Granddude," they called. "It's a school of flying fish," said Granddude. "Come on, chillers, let's go for a ride." "A school," whispered Lucy. "I hope we don't have to do any homework." They skimmed across shimmering blue waves on the backs of flying fish before coming to rest again on the hot sand. They built sand castles and then lay beneath a coconut tree eating ice cream. The memory of their gray, grumpy day was completely washed away, and they were perfectly happy. Until... "Ouch!" cried Bob. A little crab scuttled across the beach. "That crab pinched my toe!" "Oh no!" Suddenly lots of little crabs were scurrying out of the sea, heading straight toward Granddude and the children. "Hey, Granddude," said Em. "Can we go somewhere a little less pinchy?" "Yes, I think we'd better hop to it," said Granddude. He quickly waved the magic compass over another postcard. This one had a picture of a cowboy. "See the compass needle spin, let the magic fun begin." The magic flashed and sparkled, and once again, zing, bang, sizzle, everything changed. Granddude and the children found themselves in a desert valley with spiky green cactuses. A cowboy galloped toward them on a beautiful spotted horse. "Hey, Granddude," called the cowboy, waving his hat in the air. "Wow, what a handsome Appaloosa," said Granddude, admiring the horse. "Lucy?" asked Em. "No, that's the kind of horse it is. It has nothing to do with me," said Lucy. Granddude gave a whistle and 5 more horses came galloping up. He helped each of the children onto a horse and they raced together through the valley. "Whee!" cried Bob. "Faster!" yelled Lucy. But what was that cloud of dust on the horizon? Oh no! A herd of wild buffalo was rushing straight toward them. The canyon echoed with the sound of 100 hooves. Before they could ride to safety, Tom's horse reared and he tumbled to the ground. "Hold on, Tom!" shouted Granddude, snatching a rope from the cowboy's saddle. With a twirl, he lassoed Tom and hauled him onto his horse. "Ride, chillers!" cried Granddude, "as fast as you can!" They cleared the stampede, just in time. "Hey, Granddude," panted Tom, "perhaps we could go somewhere a little less stampy?" "Good idea," said Granddude, "and I think I need to cool down." Once again, he whipped out his magic compass and waved it over a postcard. "See the compass needle spin, let the magic fun begin." Before the children could see the picture, Magic sparkled and flashed, and in the blink of an eye, zing, bang, sizzle, everything changed. They found themselves high on a hill in the afternoon sun. The children laughed as they rolled in sweet-smelling wildflowers that seemed to stretch forever. Grandude pulled out his trusty guitar and began strumming a song. "Hey, Grandude," mooed some friendly cows, their bells tinkling along to the tune. Grandude took a small telescope from his pocket, and they took turns looking at the snow-capped peaks. But soon they heard a rumbling sound. "Oh no! Hey, Grandude, look!" yelled Lucy as she peered through the telescope. "A huge wall of snow is sliding down from the mountains above. Avalanche! Quick, Chillas!" cried Grandude. "Jump!" Just before the wave of snow reached them, Grandude and the children leapt onto one of the cows. "Up, cow, up!" Grandude cried. Magic swirled from the compass, lifting them all higher and higher off the ground, sailing them safely toward the sky, with the sea of snow rushing beneath them. "Swiss cows are exceptionally good flyers," said Grandude. Now, riding a flying cow is a lot of fun, but it had been a very long day. "Hey, Grandude," said Lucy with a yawn. "Maybe we could go somewhere a little more." "Sleepy?" said Grandude with a chuckle. "That sounds like a very good idea." This time, instead of a postcard, Grandude pulled a photograph of his own house from his pocket. "Magic compass, one more spin. It's time for bedtime to begin." He waved his compass over it, making the magic sparkle and spin. And just like that, zing, bang, sizzle, they were back in Grandude's living room. And the compass hadn't finished yet. With a final flash of magic, the children were changed and ready for bed. Their teeth were brushed, their faces were washed, and they were all tucked up tight. And in 5 minutes flat, Tom and Bob and Lucy and Em were fast asleep, dreaming of their next adventures. Good night, Grandude. Wow, what a fun sleepover these kids must have had with their grandfather. I know another trio that had another awesome sleepover. This time, it was at a museum. Have you ever been to a museum? Sleepover at the Museum by Karen Lefrock. Illustrated by David Books. Mason couldn't wait. Today was the best day of the year. His birthday! Tonight, he was going to have a sleepover party at the Museum of Natural History, his favorite place to visit. Mason and his 2 best friends, Zoe and Will, were ready for adventure. Mason's parents led them inside. They met their guide right next to giant fighting dinosaurs. "Hey guys, my name's Jesse," said a young man. "I'll be showing you around the museum. Follow me, I have a surprise." "Welcome to the Discovery Room," said Jesse. "Tonight, you'll be going on a scavenger hunt. And if you find all the clues, Mason can choose the hall for your sleepover." Mason and his friends were excited. They loved solving mysteries. "Here's how you wear a headlamp," said Jesse, demonstrating. "They're perfect for dark hallways." He handed Mason the map and clue sheet. "If everyone's ready, let's get started." Out in the hallway, Mason read the first clue. "Of all the planets around the sun, thousands of rings surround this one." Zoe searched the map and pointed toward the Earth and Space Room. They took off. "There it is," Zoe said. "The planet Saturn." Mason checked off the clue. First mystery solved. They all laughed as Will pretended to be an astronaut taking giant slow-motion steps on the moon. But Saturn felt too far away from his own home planet. Mason would rather sleep somewhere else. Mason's friends gathered around to hear him read the second clue. He comes from an egg. His size gives him fame. This king of the reptiles has quite a long name." "Hey, I think I know this one," said Mason, smiling. When they reached the Hall of Dinosaurs, the friends stopped in their tracks. Tyrannosaurus Rex loomed over them. "Look at this sign. It says he's the king of the dinosaurs," said Will. "And dinosaurs weren't reptiles," added Zoe. Mason checked off the second clue, while Zoe pretended she was a velociraptor. Will studied the pterosaur flying overhead. Mason thought his birthday was off to a great start, but he didn't think he could fall asleep with T-Rex standing over them in the dark. It was time for the third clue. Mason read, "This mammal that uses his nose as a hose can wash his huge body and all 20 toes." "I've got this one," said Will, starting to run. "We'll follow you," said Jessie. "There they are," said Will, pointing to the herd of elephants in the Hall of African Mammals. "Look at those tusks!" exclaimed Mason. "Check us out," said Will to Zoe. He and Mason beat their chests like the gorillas in the exhibit nearby. Zoe read the sign. "An elephant herd is always led by a female elephant. Smart animals." Mason didn't think he could sleep while being stalked by a lion or stepped on by a giant elephant foot. What would be the best sleeping spot, he wondered. "Can I read the clue this time?" asked Will. Mason nodded and handed him the clue sheet. "The hardest gems you'll find on earth will dazzle you for all they're worth." "I'm stumped," said Will. Zoe pointed, and the boys followed. "Just look at the diamond sparkle," Zoe said. "You solved it," said Mason. "It says right here that diamonds are the hardest minerals on Earth." The friends high-fived each other. They made a great team. "Mining sounds like hard work," said Mason, after reading a sign. The Hall of Minerals was spectacular, but Mason didn't think he would sleep well here. Between glittering gems and thoughts of mining, he wouldn't be able to relax. Mason read the next clue. "These birds had feathers, but could not soar. They're now extinct. There are no more." "I know this one," said Mason. "It's this way." They entered the Hall of Biodiversity, and Zoe spotted it first. "The dodo bird!" she cried. "Exactly," said Mason. "You kids are amazing," said Jessie. "Let's walk through the Life on Earth exhibit. You can see 3.5 billion years of evolution in a few minutes." Mason had learned a lot in the Hall of Biodiversity, but sleeping with the extinct predators would make him feel like prey. "2 more clues to go, guys," said Mason. "These fragile insects, queens or kings, are always noticed for their wings." Will flapped his arms and said, "Follow me." "Whoa!" exclaimed Will. "The butterfly pavilion feels like a rainforest." "Monarch is another word for king or queen," read Mason. "Right," said Zoe. "Then a monarch butterfly is a queen or king with wings." "Another clue solved," said Mason. It was beautiful here, Mason thought, but the butterflies would probably tickle them while they slept. Plus, it felt as hot as a real rainforest. Now he was getting worried. Where were they going to sleep? "It's our final clue," said Mason. "Let's read it together." "You've done so well. It's getting late. What can we eat to celebrate?" "I know this one," said Will, rubbing his belly. "It's my favorite thing about birthdays." "Cake!" they yelled. They ran all the way to the party room. When Jessie caught up, he congratulated them on solving every clue. "We did it together," said Mason. "You guys are great friends and super at solving mysteries." Jessie asked, "So have you decided where to sleep tonight, Mason?" Mason took another look at his map. "I finally have the perfect place in mind. I'll take you there right after cake and presents." "Another mystery," said Zoe. "Soon to be solved," said Will, finishing his second piece of cake. "This is it. The Hall of Ocean Life," said Mason. "The best place to sleep in the museum. It feels just like being underwater." He placed his sleeping bag directly below the blue whale, his very favorite animal. "Look," said Zoe. "A whale has a belly button just like we do." "You know it would be dangerous?" asked Will, looking at the open mouth of a great white. "Helping a shark brush its teeth." Mason and Zoe laughed. "We'd better brush our own teeth," said Zoe, yawning. Sleepy at last, Mason imagined floating in the ocean on top of the blue whale and being gently rocked by waves. He gazed at the behemoth one last time before closing his eyes. Then he whispered, "Good night, whale. Good night, friends," and fell fast asleep on his best birthday ever. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really ready for a nap after those two stories. I hope you guys have great weeks. I'm going to go take a nap. Next week, you will be having story time with Miss Ryan. I hope you guys have fun. Bye!